Salute the flag.
We rose to the moment, and here we are.
Welcome to the first show of the new year, the 3rd of January. I hope everybody had a blessed and safe new year. Gentlemen, how was y'all's?
Hello, welcome to the long distance
playbook.
Like you want to finish that up, right?
We are live here. There goes Mason. He just came back. All right, Mason.
All right, so we would normally start this week with honors of the week, but we kind of don't have anything this week, so we're going to jump right into the lightning round. And in our lightning round, it's a special. It's just Jeff right now talking about MLS, European soccer, any soccer news that you got for us, Jeff. Go ahead.
All right. So today, first and foremost, let's talk about the AFCON, the African Cup of Nations. It doesn't get a lot of publicity, but it's legit. You have really legit talent playing during the AFCON. So the knockout round starts today. Obviously, we talked about World Cup qualification. We said Morocco was probably the team to beat coming out of their group for World Cup. They're the odds-on favorite to win the AFCON, followed by Senegal and Nigeria. So I'd encourage everybody to tune into those games if they get an opportunity to see some real talent there. Second thing, and this hurts me to my heart because I'm a Chelsea fan, but so of course my team does what only my team can do. We're going to start the season off by firing our coach on New Year's Day. So 18 months into a 5-year contract, he won 2 titles last year. He was manager of the month in November, and yeah, he had a poor December. Had some issues with the club. They fired him on New Year's Day. So that's how you bring in a new year. One of the biggest teams in Europe, one of the most notable clubs in Europe, owned by Todd Bowley, who also is part owner of the Dodgers. For me, yeah, disappointing. I don't know what my team's doing. I don't know what my team is doing. So any Chelsea fan is they're losing their mind right now. They've already scheduled to have some strikes against the ownership. It's just all bad. And then you're going to bring a new coach in who's essentially going to be a yes man. And he's got 9 games in the first 27 days. So he doesn't have any time on a training pitch to implement his tactics or his ideas or even get to know his players. Completely new training staff. It's going to be bad. It's, in my opinion, we're going to go backwards. I'm going to be upset. So moving on from that, got some pretty good games coming in this week, especially with now that the Christmas break is over. Premier League, Arsenal's taking on Bournemouth. Arsenal's first in the league. Aston Villa's taking on Nottingham Forest. They're third in the league. Aston Villa, that is. In Spain, Barcelona's taking on Espanyol. And then in Serie A, Roma, who's 4th, and the Juventus is 5th. They take on Atalanta and Lecce, respectively. Elsewhere, this morning we had the Old Firm Derby, which is Glasgow Celtic versus Glasgow Rangers in Scotland. which from my time being over in England, that was a very, very heated rivalry. And Rangers won 3-1. So that was a interesting game to watch. That, for those that don't know, that's the equivalent of UNC versus Duke in college basketball. So, and then some games on Sunday. Man City takes on my managerless Chelsea. I'm just hoping for it to be respectable. Manchester United are away against Leeds United, and then Liverpool are off to London to play Fulham. In Spain on Sunday, Real Madrid takes on Real Betis, and Real Sociedad takes on Atletico Madrid. In France, PSG takes on Paris FC, and in Italy on Sunday, Lazio hosts Napoli, and Inter Milan welcome Bologna. If Inter Milan wins, they'll have an opportunity to go top of Serie A. So lots of soccer going on, not much MLS because it's the off season, but there are talks ongoing with the MLS, and this is in conjunction with college soccer as well, to change the MLS season so that it's no longer over essentially the off season of all the European leagues. So they will run the normal season from essentially September to April, like all the European leagues too. So there's talks there to change that schedule so it falls in line with the more European football schedule, and that will also go and impact the college schedule as well, potentially. So that's about it for our soccer news for today.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Jeff, my curiosity on that is, because I didn't know anything about the college soccer changing. How would that change? I don't know, the recruiting aspect of it. Would high school have to change too, or?
High school will be fine. So what happens with college is college season essentially runs from, I think it's like the second week of August, and the finals are the second week of December, second or third week of December.
So most high schools are on that same schedule like that.
Right. So what they're going to do is, and then in the spring, they call it spring season, but they only play like 4 or 5 games. What they would end up doing is expanding the season and they'll play fall, and then they'll have a winter break, and then they'll play spring, and the championship will fall in the springtime.
And it'll still give your incoming freshmen opportunities.
Correct.
To stay. It'll change them from fall soccer to spring and then normal season. So even though they're coming in their freshman year, some of them may play, some of them may not, and they don't lose time.
Yeah, so it'll be good. The only problem is the MLS draft takes place in December. That's usually the week after the championship. So you can't have MLS drafting college players midway through the season, which is why it's incumbent on MLS to change their timing, their schedule. But they've been talking about this for 5 years. I don't know why they don't have the proper impetus to go ahead and get this in effect, but it's something that probably needs to go ahead and take place. I mean, it's a lot of games, and with the way that the conferences are structured. So take the ACC, now that it has Stanford and SMU and Cal. If you have a Thursday game, you fly Tuesday. So you miss classes Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You miss 4 days of classes just to go on one trip out west, and vice versa. You have a little bit more leeway and latitude with the schedule if you expand the season all the way through the spring season as well. So for me, it's something they should have already done, but the MLS needs to go ahead and do it so college could kind of fall in line as well.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Yep.
All right. Cool. Anybody got anything else with that topic? No? All right, cool. We're going to move right on. That's the end of our today's lightning round. We're going to jump right into NCAA college football. All right. First, we have our recaps that happened last week for this, Thursday? So we have Miami versus Ohio State. Miami won 24-14, guys. I want to hear what your thoughts on that is.
That was a dominating game by two defensive ends who just bully balled those offensive tackles. That's 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
Are y'all watching? Are these coaches watching film? You know, that's my point. That's what I saw.
Okay, so the coaches can watch as much film as possible, but if your DN plays like Charles Haley or plays like Reggie White, it doesn't matter what scheme you draw up, because that means that they are just unblockable. And I'm pretty sure come draft time, whenever these guys are released, they're going to go in the NFL in the first round. These guys that can't be blocked.
Okay.
Hey, all it takes is a chip. All you got to do is the quarterback only need 3 seconds. You need 3 seconds to make a decision.
I mean, honestly,
but if you watch the game, he didn't get 3 seconds. They was on his butt.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. To me, this was just Miami showing that they were physically more dominant than Ohio State. From a strength perspective, from a speed perspective, it wasn't even close. I mean, Ohio State, even when they caught the ball, there wasn't any yak yards because Miami was hitting them as soon as they caught the ball.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's a sign of Ohio State was probably a little bit overrated all year. I thought the Indiana game was a fluke. I thought Ohio State had more in the tank. They showed me they were extremely limited against Miami.
Hey,
and Bain and was it Mesidor? Boy, I tell you what, that quarterback gonna have nightmares about that. He's running for his life.
Well,
speaking of not enough in the tank, you know, that there was another Big Ten team that did a outstanding job.
Absolutely. We had Oregon versus Texas Tech, and Oregon won 23-0.
Okay, so let me go ahead and start there. Let me start with this one. Okay.
Big Ten.
Texas Tech, number 4 in the nation.
Yep.
And got rocked by an Oregon team that really isn't a normal Oregon team. So you all tell me to me, that's weak competition throughout the year. They only played 2 decent teams, and that was BYU twice. So should we modify the teams that get into the chip to get into the top 12? Because
that's not a true gauge. Because look at it. Alabama got rocked by 35 points.
Hey, that's next. Well, I'll get to them next because I told y'all from day one they shouldn't be there. So we'll get to them. They shouldn't have been there. Look, we'll get to them in a second.
But hold on. With Oregon and Texas Tech, Jeff, right? Mm-hmm. So Texas Tech, they won their conference. Okay. And that's the number one. Yeah, that's the number one thing asked of you.
Just because you win a conference doesn't mean that you're the top 12, one of the top 12 teams in the nation.
So should they take that stipulation out? Because right now it's a stipulation, right?
I think so, because from what I just saw,
I wouldn't pick it out.
Texas Tech shouldn't have been there. JMU shouldn't have been there, and Tulane shouldn't have been there.
Well, hold on before you take JMU out.
I disagree with all that.
That's the reason why we have this conversation so that we can agree or disagree.
Go ahead, Chris. What was you going to say?
Yes.
I don't agree with you 100%. JMU deserved, and they showed that they could play with the big boys. Now,
did they? Because Oregon had
they lost. They played.
Wait.
If Oregon got JMU, you might as well take out Alabama and anybody else. Then
I told you we're going to get to Alabama here shortly. I got the same heat for them. I got the same heat for them. Sorry, Mace, but I got the same heat for
All right.
Alabama too.
Oh, I do too, bro. I do too. But the
But
thing
Jeff,
is, I
with
don't
what
think
Chris is saying, go ahead, Chris.
I don't think you understand the point of the top 12, right? It is a guesstimation of who they want, who's there, who's not. Now, to address Tulane and James Madison, hey, James Madison came and they lost, but they didn't lose by what everybody said they were going to lose
Did
by.
you watch the game?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes.
The first half, that wasn't even a game. Oregon was killing them, and Oregon let off the gas, and that's why the coach got mad at them because they didn't play the full 48 minutes.
Hey, that's your fault.
No, I'm just saying.
But Jeff,
Oregon kept their foot on the gas. That game is 70-7.
But Jeff, we see it. Absolutely. Look, Jeff, we see it at all levels of football, right? Where a team is clearly the better team is beating them first half, and then they're like, all right, cool. All we got to do is now manage the clock. So they let off the gas.
Cool. So
we see it at NFL. We see it at college. So it's no different. Is it James Madison's fault that they got back into the game?
No. Okay. Any one of you three tell me that Tulane was a top 12 team in the nation.
Based off this,
I don't know that. Now, I honestly tell you, I don't. Watching everything that I've seen in the last month of football in college and the NFL, you don't know it because everything needs to be determined on the field. Because it doesn't matter. No, it's not a cop out. It's the truth. Because these teams are getting smoked, and we think there are legitimate contenders. But
remember,
on the field, you get
Tulane wasn't even ranked in the top 12. Tulane was ranked like 21.
All right. So we're going to move on to our. Go ahead, Chris.
But based off of the rules that they made prior when they first implemented this type of format, that was added so that the little guy can get in.
I completely
because otherwise you had the same constants over and over again.
I hear you.
And look, watch this. Hear me out. Out of your 4 teams, 3 of them are new to this Final Four. Do you think these 4 teams would have been picked into the college playoffs if it was still the old format?
No, I'm not saying drop it to 4. I said
Tulane
and JMU a top 12 team. That's what
That's them giving them an opportunity. Now the thing was,
opportunities are earned. They shouldn't be just given.
But they earned. You don't think they earned it? JMU lost one game.
Hey,
they beat somebody.
But watch this. Hold on.
Nova Community College.
Hold on, Jeff. Now we finna move on because that's starting to go to the next game, and that next game is should Alabama and Oklahoma been in it in the first place?
Okay. Alabama,
because
and I said it then. Okay, go ahead, Max.
Because Alabama lost to Indiana 38-3. Now, gentlemen, you can roast my team. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm wearing my red in honor of Alabama going down today.
That's messed up.
I purposely went and found.
I almost put red on too, and I was like, I can't do that. That's messed up.
But it was approved. They put BTA to Alabama. BTA.
I agree, but even Mark Ingram said Alabama didn't deserve to get in after the whooping they got by Georgia.
They did.
And I said from the day
real quick.
Go ahead.
Didn't I say that?
Yep, you did. And so for me, and I said this then, Notre Dame should have got in front of Alabama. Alabama being the first 3-loss team to make it, to me, made no sense. Alabama had no business being there, and that proved out.
Yeah.
I disagree with that.
And it showed. You don't have a running game.
I disagree with Notre Dame.
What you
You said you disagree with Notre Dame?
Notre Dame should have been.
Yes, because for one, going into the season, they already know we don't have to worry about playing a championship or anything. We just got to take care of most of our schedule, maybe lose 1 or 2, and we're in. That's a whole different pressure than everybody else. And you're basically having a different standard of trying to go against these other teams that they know that they could put in all this work September, October, November, and then turn around and lose if they're not in the Big Ten or you're not in the what is it?
So that's what happened or whatever. That's what happened.
The Big Ten or the SEC.
So that's what happened with Alabama?
No. I'm talking about because they're in a
I'm
conference.
Talking about
because they have to play the gauntlet.
Wait.
Alabama beat Georgia, right?
First of all, you talking about playing the gauntlet. The SEC is not a gauntlet this year. The results prove that out.
I'm saying conference.
You have to bring different energy this year because SEC was not like that this year.
No. I'm talking about conference-wise. I just use them as an example. I'm saying when you put yourself in a conference and you expose yourself of not being able to win your conference, then that means at the end of the season, you might not be able to make the playoffs.
What are you talking about?
If I'm Notre Dame, I don't have to go through that.
SEC still got 5 teams
so what?
in. Only one team can win.
Jump in then.
They still got 5 teams in.
If you think your team is that good, Notre Dame should join one of those conferences that they think they can smoke. Why not join one then?
That is just to make you feel better.
No, yeah, I agree with Jeff. Notre Dame is not going to join a conference because they would start losing money.
Correct.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
So I agree with Jeff on the conference ranking. I think it's all crap. It doesn't matter. You got to play. You got to play the game. It's not you got to, just because you say I'm the number 1 conference, I'm going to beat you. It's being proven in the bowl season. I think, matter of fact, I'm almost right. Only 2 SEC teams has beaten a Big Ten team.
Hold on.
When they matched up.
SEC teams are getting waxed.
Exactly.
They're getting waxed.
Are they really the strongest conference?
Right. We're going to talk about the gauntlet. I saw a sorry Wake Forest team that had half of its starters go in the transfer portal beforehand, and they had a bunch of walk-ons. They had a walk-on wide receiver starting at corner for them last night, and they beat the brakes off of Mississippi State last night.
Okay.
So I'm gonna tell you,
that's good.
You talk about this.
So why did
Mississippi State get a bowl?
Mississippi State, they played Wake Forest last night.
Oh man, I didn't know. I didn't know they earned a bowl. To me, they were that bad.
But half of these teams get in the bowls. All you gotta do is be a 500 team and get into a bowl.
You gotta win 6 games.
You gotta win 6 games.
So winning 6 games, that's not elite. Right?
No, it's
not.
Are
we saying six wins is the
what I'm saying is
it's not elite.
Right. You said the SEC, the gauntlet that's the SEC. Well,
I said
out and playing other teams right now, and they're getting
SEC in the Big Ten. Let me say this. Let me be clear. I was using that as an example. SEC, Big Ten, whatever conference you're in, going into the season that you have a chance of losing your conference championship. No matter what you do the first 8 to 9 games.
You have a chance
you don't have
of losing your conference championship.
Notre Dame doesn't have to worry about that.
5 teams in.
Notre Dame does not have to worry about any of this because they just pick their schedule from wherever they want to, and they don't have to worry about conference losses.
Let's look at Notre Dame. Let's look at Notre Dame for what they did this year. They lost 2 games.
They're not playing SC next year.
Wait. They lost 2 games to 2 ranked teams by a total of 4 points the first 2 weeks of the season. Didn't lose after that.
Matter of fact, beat everybody on the average.
Who was their signature wins? Who were their signature wins?
They beat USC.
They beat. Okay. So who was Alabama's signature win? Who was Alabama's signature?
Georgia, right?
Maybe
Georgia.
I saw what Georgia did to them. You talking about early in the season.
You said what was Alabama's signature win?
Yes, because he said what was Notre Dame's signature win. I said what was Alabama?
Games, right?
So Alabama beat more ranked teams this season than anybody.
Yes. And then
Yeah,
What are you talking about, Jeff?
Now,
Because-
when you say that, hold on. Now, look.
Go ahead,
When you
Chris.
say that, the majority of those ranked teams were where? In the SEC.
correct.
Right.
Now-
Overly rated, as we're finding out now.
Exactly.
They were overrated.
But they played their schedule and they beat them.
And Notre Dame played their
look,
schedule.
so you can
and
say
beat
the
them.
same thing
Look,
about
guys,
Notre Dame.
I'm not saying that Alabama deserved to get in, right? I told you a couple of weeks ago,
Like I
right?
said, who are your
No,
This is
superstars?
not you. This is
USC
Jay. This is at Jay.
But so here's the conflict, right? Did Oklahoma deserve to get in and
Hell
Alabama
no.
didn't?
Neither one of them
Right.
should have been in.
So that was the conflict, right? Because Alabama made it to the SEC championship game, right?
I would have.
Oklahoma,
Crazy.
Texas A&M, and Ole Miss did not.
Flag.
So look.
Y'all
I'm
are crazy.
Go ahead.
So look.
Absolutely
three made
crazy.
So look. Here we go. I'm looking at the.
Notre Dame didn't
I'm
give
looking
me.
at-
He didn't give me any teams that deserved it.
Oh my God! Can I say something, Jay?
I'm trying to let you, dog.
So I'm looking at the final rankings, right? Before they released the top 12.
Right.
Oklahoma was not better than Notre Dame. Even by the points, they only beat them by 60 points, right? Notre
Right.
Dame had a better year. Alabama was behind Notre Dame, right?
Where?
Then you have all they were sitting at Oklahoma at 8, Notre Dame 9, Miami 10,
Now it's
Alabama
BYU.
11,
BYU was
right.
in between them.
and BYU was 12. So when you sitting there and you're thinking that how you saying it, I just don't
Mhm.
agree that Oklahoma and Alabama should have been in because of who they are, their name. That's all that was their name.
Hey, let me. I'm gonna throw. So they lost to Miami. Notre Dame lost to Miami by 3. They lost to Texas A&M by 1. Right? They beat Arkansas, SEC team. They beat USC. They beat Navy, who was ranked,
Mm-hmm.
and they
They
beat
beat
2 or 3
Pittsburgh.
ACC teams.
They
Right?
beat Pittsburgh, who was ranked.
So all I'm saying is, to your point, they beat the people who were on the schedule. They were the hottest team at the back end of the schedule. There's no reason why they should have been excluded and Alabama included. That's all. That's my point.
And look,
Right.
what do you think would have happened? What do you think it would have happened if Virginia would have beat Duke?
Virginia would have been in.
Virginia would have been
Virginia
in.
would have been in, and Miami would have
And
been out.
Miami would have been out.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
So that's the same situation. That situation that's the cause of that situation.
Mhm.
The Oklahoma, Alabama, that wasn't the cause. That was we're gonna make sure we get people watching.
We're gonna make sure
Alabama-
Alabama get in there.
Mm-hmm.
So now since we didn't
what
beat
was-
that dead horse, we know Alabama sucked this year. They ain't have a running game.
No running game.
None whatsoever. All right.
When's the last time you could say that?
And Jeff still didn't tell me who Notre Dame beat to be considered top 12.
They beat Pitt. They beat Pitt when they was
They
ranked
beat-
20.
They beat
20.
everybody on their schedule except for the first 2 games of the season.
Yes, but my question is,
And-
what top 12 teams makes you believe that they should be in the top 12 from the teams that they beat? Now, I'm not talking about what's on my.
I have a question for
I'm
you,
talking
Jay.
about-
That's what I'm asking.
I'm talking
Hey,
about
Jay.
from what I've. Go ahead.
Hey Jay, I got a question for you. How can
Yes.
you tell 2 years from now if that team is going to be ranked?
You don't know.
Exactly. So I'm glad you said that because they don't know when they because they are a true independent. And they do.
Yep.
There's
Yes,
games
and
that
that's the
are.
problem.
No, listen what I'm telling you. There are games that are locked in
I
by
know.
contracts that they cannot break until those contracts end. Who in their
That's
right
tough.
mind?
That's tough. Mm-hmm.
So let me finish. Who in their right mind is going to? That's a Power 5 team that could be ranked. Is going to take a Notre Dame team to play, knowing that if they lose, they may not make the playoffs because they lost to a team that's not in the conference. Let that sink
It
in
happens
for
all
a
the
second.
time.
It happens all the
It
time.
happens all the time.
So
Week 1 to week 4. Week 1 to week 4. Hold on a second now. Week 1 to week 4, you have teams that go outside their conference and then make a statement to play against other teams that are they know are tough, and it happens all the time.
Oh, you
And
mean like
people
Notre Dame
don't-
did?
teams-
You mean like Notre Dame did
away from
against
that.
Miami
No,
and Texas A&M? You mean like Notre
thank
Dame
you,
did?
Joe.
Thank you for
He
proving the
set
point.
himself
He walked
up
right
for it.
into that. Thank
And they
you.
He
lost.
set
And they
himself up
lost.
for it.
Absolutely, set himself up.
And Notre Dame lost. And Notre Dame lost. So why do they deserve to
Right,
be in?
and-
Because they proved
right, and
that
where's
they
Miami?
They lost.
But they were ranked
No,
in the top
he proved
5.
my point. You played against those teams and you lost. So why should you
And
be
guess
in? You
what?
already lost to them.
And guess what?
Oh, my.
And look, Alabama lost 3 times. 3 times.
Yep.
And they got skull drug in their conference championship. Right? So you telling me
They make their own schedule.
they,
It's their
they
fault.
deserve
They
it?
know Boston College is not going to be a top 20 team. You can't tell me
So-
going in,
so
you
you
know
know-
Boston College is going to be a real competition for you. You can't.
All right.
You know this.
Hey, guys,
Navy,
real quick.
all these teams that they put up 2 years ago they were never a powerhouse or even halfway decent to being in the conversation to being a top 10 team.
But you just gave us our point. That's what I'm
All right,
telling
hey.
you.
You know what?
Hey,
I gave you the
real
point that
quick.
they did not deserve to be in the top 12. That's what I gave you.
all right. Hey, we're going to recap our next game. We haven't even gotten to it yet. We got Ole Miss versus Georgia, and Ole Miss won 39-34. So that now the SEC champion that y'all were mentioning has now dropped. And Ole Miss, who lost their coach, Lane Kiffin, who went to LSU, has been tearing through this playoffs. What was your thoughts on that?
That was a good game, but I'm gonna tell you, as soon as I saw that, I knew as soon as it got close that Ole Miss was gonna win. For one, I think they have the better offense, but for two,
Okay.
when their kicker was hitting those field goals early in the game, that 55, 56-yarder, I said, if this game is close, Ole Miss got this in the bag. Because that kicker was money. And they were 55, 56 yarders, but he had at least 10 more yards than those. He was killing those.
Yeah.
So as soon as they got it close, I said, that's game over.
So I had to be honest. I got to be honest.
Go ahead.
I went to sleep. I went to sleep in the third quarter because I was like, ain't no way Georgia lose a 9-point lead and lose this game. Once I saw the replay, I said, Kirby Smart needs to go out back and slap his whole coaching staff in one swipe.
Hey, but you know something? It's real funny to me that we just talked about two teams who were known for their vaunted defenses, Bama and Georgia. It's funny when you can't keep players sitting on the bench for 3 to 4 years. It's funny how you don't have that depth. It's funny how your defense isn't as great as it was all those other years when you could keep players locked down and they couldn't go someplace else and play.
Yep.
Yeah, it's real different because when have you seen a Georgia team? When have you seen a Georgia defense look that bad? When have you seen an Alabama defense?
I disagree with you.
That bad? You can
Hold
Okay.
on. I'll answer you that. When have I seen an Alabama defense look that bad? Believe it or not, I've seen it during the Nick Saban era, right? And I definitely saw it before the Nick Saban era. So
I'm talking consistently. Before Nick Saban, absolutely, but consistently this season, this Alabama team in the trenches is not the Alabama team that we're used to seeing.
They're not as good.
How not?
They're not. They're not.
The reason
You
why
don't have.
you don't have the defensive line and you don't have the offensive line that Bama traditionally has.
I got you on that, right? But the defense, right, was still top. I don't even know. I think top 10. I'd have to look that up. But regardless, right, that's not the argument. You asked, when's the last time you saw an Alabama defense like that or bad Georgia defense? So just take it.
I'm not talking about one
I didn't
game.
think Georgia defense was
bad.
Over the course of a season.
But I
didn't think the Georgia defense was bad when that game the game last night. I didn't think the defense was bad for Georgia. What I saw was a quarterback on the other side. No matter what you draw up, he made time. He extended plays. There's times in football games where no matter what your coaches are doing, there's a guy on the other side that's just a little bit better. And Chambliss was better last night when it mattered. They brought blitzes. They had guys pushing up front. I mean, but dude would spin out. He would extend plays. That's a totally different thing. You can't fault Georgia on those levels. And some of the places, the ball placement that he was making some of these throws once he would escape. That was the difference in the game. And then you could feel Georgia started coaching as if they were the underdog and started going for fourth downs and running trick plays. And we don't want to give the ball back to their quarterback because we know we can't stop them. That's what we saw last night in that shifting of the game in the third quarter. The quarterback just went beast mode.
Okay.
So
I like it.
I can agree with that. But that's also that's why I said Kirby Smart need to line his all his coordinators up and just one swipe and slap every last one of them. Because don't get me wrong, the quarterback got to have time. When you up by almost 10 points, he's got to get the ball back. So that tells me you did not do anything to slow that game down.
Nope.
And there's many ways to slow the game down. Mm-hmm. Hey, go to the huddle. After every play, go in the huddle. You got 30 seconds before you got to snap the ball. Right? Where was that? Nope. They want to stand in no huddle. 1, 2, 3, get a ball back. 1, 2, 3, get a ball back. Those are problems. If you can't slow them down, you need to slow the game down. Long 8-minute drives. That's what you did. That's what you was missing. Is we're gonna grind out the clock, and then let's see if you can make up 10 points with 3 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, let me ask you this. So you're a coach, and your team is used to being the big bully on the block and doing whatever you want to these teams. And you got your little brother Ole Miss coming in. Oh, well, that's just Ole Miss. To me, it seems like they wanted to run their system the way they run it, and they just thought that formula would come true in the game. And like you said, they were up by how many points in the third quarter? Like, this is just how we play, and things are going to go our way.
But they should know better because they played Ole Miss already.
So
and
Jay,
they won by 8.
So Jay,
little brother coming up, they should have known that.
So Jay, I'm gonna answer your question, but I gotta change your question a little bit. I have to. Mm-hmm. So I am a coach. Last year, I coached a team that wasn't supposed to win a game. Right? We dominated the game based off of what you were bad at. If you wasn't good in this certain spot, I attacked that certain spot the whole game until you made an adjustment. If you never made an adjustment, I kept attacking it. I played a team where we literally kept the ball at midfield the whole second half and ran out the clock. And you know how many yards I got rushing during that time? 15 yards in 2 quarters. But because I knew what I was trying to do in the beginning of the game, which pushed them back. And then I just kept driving the clock, take a delay of game. Guess what just happened? I just got 30 seconds taken off the clock. And then I did it again and again and again. The ball never moved from from midfield. I kept the ball on their end of the football field and made them have to go the distance. We ended up winning that game by a touchdown. That's how you play bully ball. You don't know what I'm doing until it's too late. So
you're not thinking about the coach's ego. These big time program, Kirby Smart's already won a championship. The ego gets into it, man. They're not going to say we submit to this little brother over here that we've been whipping up on for years.
Obviously, they did submit.
Crazy.
They tapped
They
out.
did submit.
Mhm.
They tapped. Say it again, Jeff. They tapped out. And the thing is, it's always harder to beat a team twice.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
And
They beat him
Kirby
early.
Smart. Yep.
They beat him early, but they knew little brother was not playing around. Little brother's been getting better. So, and they came in this game, and I think anybody who has a little brother or has been a little brother, hey, my time's coming. My time's coming. And when
I got to pull my hamstring.
I got you.
I got to pull my hamstring so you can't keep it.
Yeah, see?
You know what I'm saying? But when you step on that grid, that field, if you have been preparing, and I'm gonna go back to the Ohio State game. You had 25 days to prepare. You ran the same concept like you ran against everybody else. And guess what everybody else was doing? I was watching film.
Yep.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. In this formation, they're going to do this. On this formation, they're going to do that.
Real quick, gentlemen. So, with all the recap of the games, right? Indiana is the only team in the history of this college playoff bracket to win the quarterfinals. Yeah. So, we talk about rust. I heard analysts during the games, they talked about rust, right? How big is that? How big of the rust factor is it? Because Indiana has said, we're not rusty. Y'all must be, but we're not.
Yeah, but I think Indiana's
that's a coach's mindset.
Yeah, I think. And let me tell you what, I like him. After hearing him talk, oh, he's arrogant. Woo, that's my type of coach right there, boy. He's
arrogant. He's ready to play the next game.
Oh my goodness, he's arrogant. I like that. That's the type of person. Hey, I'm gonna go to war with that guy.
Hey, Google me.
I got one more thing. I got one more thing besides the rust thing, right? All four coaches right now, Oregon, Indiana, Ole Miss, and Miami, right?
No.
Are protégés of who?
No, we don't need to talk about that.
Go ahead.
But hey, rust is a real thing.
Oh no, we need to talk about that because I got a good make too.
Protégés of Nick Saban.
To your first point, Russ,
Nick Saban
is a real thing though. Like,
all right, go ahead.
You can't duplicate game speed in practice, no matter how hard you try. You can't duplicate it in practice.
So should they move the quarterfinals? So should they move?
They need to
move the quarterfinals in.
They said what was it?
I don't think so.
Was it 25 days?
Right.
It's 25 days.
Come on. When you're used to playing every single week, and then you go almost 4 weeks, you go 3.5 weeks without playing, you're gonna lose something.
Should it be conference championship week, first round, and then quarterfinals?
In my opinion, running back to back, yes. I'm almost on board with what Oregon's coach said. Be done by January 1st.
Okay.
I can agree to that portion. But
25 days is too long.
But hold on, let me finish.
Go ahead.
Let me finish. You can't get game speed, but you can get intensity in practice.
You can, but not game speed. So
you can. And my thing about that is, if you're not pushing your practice and everything is a walkthrough, you're going to be rusty.
So I got you.
Right.
I got something for you, Chris. So that NFL team that you like, when they go in the playoffs after having a bye week, what's happened?
Oh, just so you know, my team has never had a bye.
And his team's not going to get a bye.
You're not going to get a bye this time, but you have. And when you have that time off, y'all taking L's.
Yeah,
Because
they won a Super Bowl when they play continuously.
Yeah, you break out of that rhythm. You can't. Yes, you can get the intensity, but that game speed is just different.
So I'm gonna give you a little difference in that because I coach over here in the German leagues, right?
Yep.
We go 3 to 4 week breaks before we play another game, right? And I have to keep my intensity, my game on that level of we playing every week. But that's what we were raised to do. These guys getting in college, they're getting paid. We can be honest with that. Some of these players are getting paid. And don't get me wrong, I get it. You want to heal up some of these guys' bodies, but you still got to get some type of intensity or get the next man up ready, right? Because guess what?
So
all that showed me was Texas Tech was not ready for that monster coming from Oregon.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Georgia wasn't ready for Ole Miss. Ohio State definitely wasn't ready for Miami. And that right there to me was preparation on a lot of those teams' parts. I don't think it was preparation. It was just bad coaching in the Georgia format of why they did not slow that game down.
So can I ask Mace a question?
Go ahead, Jeff.
Let me go ahead and say something real quick.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Jay.
Okay, so my thing is about this rust. The main thing is if your team is this much a whole lot better than the other teams, then you can kind of make it through the first quarter and then you get it back and then you'll beat that team and it's not a big deal for you. But if you are kind of similarly matched or you have the similar talent, the team that's played the last week that still has that rhythm is going to get a better start than the team that had that layoff. And we all know how momentum works in the game. Mm-hmm. If you jump on a team and you are similar styles or you have more talent than the other team, then most likely you will keep your foot on their necks. And it's hard to get back into that game. So, and unlike the NFL, those bye teams didn't have home games. So your crowd couldn't really get you back into it, this, that, and the other, like you would in the NFL. So it's a huge difference between having that not just a regular bye, because Andy Reid has been known as Mr. Bye King. You pay him after the bye, your team's going to lose because he's going to beat you when his team has a bye. But 20 days is a little excessive to have that much time off, and you've had these teams that are ready to go.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry. Make me the head coach. Give me his doggone salary, and I guarantee you I have him ready.
So here's my question, Nate.
Go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead.
Is the DeBoer experiment at Alabama? Is it time? Is it time to go in a different direction? No, I'm taking Jay's question because I know Jay was thinking it. You know, he's a Grim Reaper when it comes to coaches. I know he's thinking it, so I'm just saying it for him.
No, I'll say this: DeBoer stays, but DeBoer has to really look at his coaching staff and figure out what changes do need to be made. Because, and he even announced it at halftime when they were losing to Indiana. Right? They interviewed him, and he said some of those play calls was on him. Right? So he took fault for some of it. Right? Which is respectable out of a coach. Right?
Well, he's supposed to die on his sword.
Right. But what I'm saying is I don't think it's necessarily Kalen DeBoer. Maybe he's got to take a look at his coaching staff, and he's got to somehow get a run game back in Alabama, because if we're not a West Coast team.
Right. But so if you saw Washington play,
yep,
They didn't run like that. They threw the
They
rock.
didn't.
Penix was throwing them deep balls nonstop.
Correct.
The SEC is a different game. You're going to have to get guys in the trenches. You're going to have to move people out of the way. And it does not seem like his style of ball fits with Alabama. It looks off.
It does look off, but he's going to have to, if he's going to keep the job, he's going to have to make some changes with his coaching staff, because if he doesn't make changes with those coaching staff, then he will be the change.
Fair enough.
So, all right, real quick. We're still staying in college football. However, oh man, look at last week's records. Chris went 2-2. Good job. Jay and Jeff went 1-3. Okay, because y'all picked Indiana over my Alabama. And I went 0-4.
Hit it.
Oh,
So
man.
I'm going to say this. If I could play replay right now, everybody was like, Alabama. And then you heard Indiana. Who was the Indiana guy?
No, everybody was Indiana.
It was the Miami Ohio State, probably.
No. It was the Oregon Texas Tech.
Everybody was on Ohio State.
Oh yeah, I did.
It was Oregon versus Texas Tech.
Look, now everybody was on that bandwagon, right? That Texas Tech, and I told y'all Oregon gonna win.
And that was a pretty bad. That was a pretty bad one.
Why you went Texas Tech, and it's probably why I'm so mad about it now, is because hey, they're 4th ranked team in the nation. They're supposed to be this good. They've beat everybody. They beat everyone in their conference. They beat BYU twice. All the hype that they got them the 4th, and they rolled up against Oregon. This is not even a good Oregon team compared to past Oregon teams, and they got worked.
All right, well, let me finish up real quick. So our overall records, Chris and Jay are now tied for the top. I went further back. Jeff, you're still got a great record, but I mean, look, Jeff, I'll be honest with you. It's going to be interesting what you do next season.
When I get all year, that's right.
When you're here for the whole season, it's going to be interesting. All right. However, now we got a tie at the top for the NCAA. Ain't but 2 games left. Or, sorry, 3 games. We got 2 games this week and then the championship, right? So, with that, I want to start off with a rematch game of Indiana versus Oregon. They're playing in the Peach Bowl in Atlanta, Georgia, right? Does Indiana, listen to me, does Indiana beat Oregon again, or does Oregon finally get their revenge?
Well, under Chris's rule, Chris says it's hard to be a team twice. Chris, what do you think?
Oh, so y'all want that? So I see what this is.
Hey, Chris, you want to wait? I'll go.
You want me to go first?
I'll go.
Oh, go ahead, my friend.
Oh, Indiana is the truth. I'm gonna tell you what. From the coach to, and I was a little bit concerned about Mendoza after they beat Ohio State, how happy he was, and I'm like, whoo, that's a lot of energy, and you just won the conference championship. You ain't even won the chip. I was like, But after what I just saw this weekend against Alabama, I'm gonna tell you, they got 4 wide receivers, 6'4", 6'2", 6'2", 6 foot. They got 2 running backs. For me,
one of they wide receivers on Indiana is like 6'5".
Yeah, 6'4". He scored the first touchdown. He's like 6'4", 6'5". And look, they got Black and Hemby at running back, and a defense that, to me, we don't talk about enough. That defense has been legit. That defense has played. So I got no qualms about it. I think Indiana,
smothering.
yes, they're legit.
So
Look,
Frank,
go ahead.
why did he defer? I'm gonna tell you why he deferred to me, right? Because he wants to know my pick, so he could try to get ahead on me.
Nah, it's not the fact that I want your pick. Nah. So Frank,
I'm gonna go.
Frank, to answer your question, Frank, go ahead, Chris. I'll answer him after you do your thing. I'm gonna answer his question because before we went on the show, we had a discussion about how hard. Oh, it's hard to beat a team twice in a season. Blah blah blah. They can't win. They already won. It's very tough, and that's why I posed the question to Chris. Chris, you were talking about that earlier, so go ahead. If you think that Indiana ain't ready for him, go ahead and make your pick.
So I'm gonna make my pick. So I tried to Jedi mind trick you guys. Pick Oregon, and I was gonna pick Indiana again. Right? There's two reasons. If you watch the Oregon team play, because I have watched them play, and you take away number 19, the tight end Sadiq, they are not very offensively good. Right? They live off that tight end. Wherever he goes, that's where that play goes. Right? So I'm picking Indiana. I guess I can almost say Jay gonna pick Indiana because the Jedi mind trick didn't work. It worked last week, but it didn't work this week. So I'll pick Indiana.
For me, I'm picking Indiana. I'm picking Indiana as well. And if you look at Indiana, the way that they play, they play with confidence, and that stems from their coach. They play great offense, great defense. Can you find a hole in that team right now?
No. They play physical.
And unlike the other teams, they play physical. And what is this? We had a stat earlier. If you weren't on, guys weren't on earlier, the teams that have buys are 1-7. And so what are they doing differently than everybody else is doing? And that means that coach, just like Chris was saying, he has his boot on them coaches' necks and saying, don't be taking no time off. Make sure you get our guys prepared and ready to play because y'all ain't going to embarrass me. Because guess what? I'm not going to get fired. But I'm going to show you the door if you don't have these guys prepared because guess what? Jay's always talking about, the coaches getting fired. And
you breaking
what you got for us, Jay?
So
hey,
go ahead, Mason.
Oh well, I was gonna say, look, I'm taking Indiana, right, and it's because of multiple things that I saw in that game, right. There were multiple times Alabama tried to draw Indiana off sides, and Indiana is so disciplined that they didn't even flinch. They were like, "Yeah, we know what you're doing, 100%. And if you run the play, we're ready." Right? They were like, "We're not moving across this line until that ball is snapped. If it doesn't come snapped, then it's on you. If it snaps, we're going to play." Right? So they're not just when in that instance, right? But Indiana is so disciplined throughout the entire game, offensively and defensively. So in Kurt Cignetti, he has built a confidence for those players. And there's a reason why his record is what it is. So I've got to go with Indiana.
Yeah, I got Indiana as well. But I think for me, the coach, he's the enthusiasm. He oozes that. That's got to wear off on the team. It reminds me of kind of like Jimmy Johnson back in the U days. That arrogance, that confidence, man. Look, coach is talking that, and he feels that way about us. Guess what? I feel that way about myself too. And I give him a huge amount of credit because, one, he got players to go to Indiana. And two, the way that he recruited, the way that he got players that went into the transfer portal, and they may have been, I don't know, 3 stars someplace else, but he knew that they would be the perfect fit for what he's trying to do. And that's come to fruition. Like, I don't see any holes in that team. I've watched them play 3 games this season, and that Ohio State game and that Alabama game, and I'm like, the offensive side complements the defensive side, and vice versa. So, man, I'm gonna tell you what. If someone doesn't hire him, well, they just re-signed him. They just re-upped him. Indiana's going to be a problem for a while. Indiana's going to be a problem for a while.
I was going to say he's in a situation where he doesn't have to run out to another university, right? Because he's in a huge conference already, and now he's taken over that. He's taking control of that conference. I mean,
he ain't taking control. He's just having it great. He turned the program around, and that's always a good thing. But taking control, I ain't gonna say that. You just
look. He's had 2 losses in 2 seasons, and he hasn't lost one yet this season. So what does that mean?
For the record,
that ain't him taking over.
Ohio State's got the same thing: 2 losses in 2 seasons, and they haven't shipped. So they haven't taken over, but
you talking about
pretty close.
Do it 10 years in a row.
I would say it's taking over. I would say it's taking over because we're right now 2026. He's on top. So you knock him off, he's not in control anymore. I mean, it all depends on how long he takes over. But right now, he's the captain of the ship in the Big Ten.
He's the captain, but he ain't the mainstay.
Well, I'm just saying this season, yes. Now, if he has this level of success for 5 of the next 10 years in the conference, then yes. But it's a little bit early to say.
So Spomatic, look what he did at JMU. That is true. He did that in JMU, and he's a winner. I am not saying he's not a winner. What I'm saying is you won 2 years in a row. Can you do it over a long period of time?
Right.
I mean, right? I got what you're saying, Chris, but right now he's on top.
No, he's on top of the conference and the country. Until somebody can beat him.
Yeah, he's gonna have to win the chip. Because Ohio State I'm just saying, Ohio State has won the Big Ten last year. They got 2 losses in total between this year and last year. 3 losses, I guess, but they have a chip. So they got to win the chip.
Well, look at it this way. No matter what, a Big Ten team is playing in the national championship game.
That is true.
All right. Hey, we're going to move on. Now, Jeff talked about little brother earlier, but the little brother has now made it to the next round of the semifinals. Ole Miss playing Jay's. Well, Jay at the beginning of the season said Miami, and then at the end of the season he didn't say Miami. So I'm confused. But we got Miami versus Ole Miss in the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah, I got Miami.
This is going to be a good one.
I'll go ahead and take it.
I think it is too, but I got Miami. I think if Carson Beck can play mistake-free, I'm taking Miami. I think Messidor and Bain are they are a force right now. They can't be stopped. So Miami or Ole Miss gonna have a problem keeping their quarterback clean. And from what I've seen from the SEC teams, these teams aren't what they were in the past. If you look at Miami's team, and especially, it's really Miami's defense versus Ole Miss's offense. Miami's defense shown that they have the athletes to nullify what the SEC offenses want to do. So if you can rush 4 and get pressure on that quarterback and drop everybody else in coverage, which I think Miami's shown they can do because they did against Ohio State, I think that carries over to Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss has the better offense. That's just my opinion. I think Ole Miss has a better offense, but I think Miami's playing with a chip on their shoulder right now. Miami's not a team that I'd want to play right now. So I got Miami.
If you're Ole Miss, Miami, you can't tell me nothing right now. I just beat my big brother, and guess what? If I beat my big brother, ain't nobody stopping me. Michael Irvin on the sideline acting like a fool.
Yep.
We got Ray Lewis doing his signature dance. Come on, man.
There's
Ole
always
Miss is saying
somebody.
you can bring back all the old timers you want, but Ole Miss is saying this: we got a quarterback that can. You don't even block that defensive end. He, as you saw last game, he ran 20 yards back just so he couldn't get tackled.
Yeah, but
I'm telling you, Ole Miss has momentum right now, and I think Ole Miss is probably going to beat Miami. I'm picking Ole Miss to beat Miami.
Okay.
And I'm not forgetting what Miami did in the regular season either. Towards the end, they played okay ball, but they didn't play like they're playing now. And you're going to see once Ole Miss slaps them around a little bit, you're going to see Ole Miss take them. I got Ole Miss.
Ooh. Who will be coaching for Ole Miss?
It's the guy that's coaching right now. He's going to be the next coach.
Pete Golding. Pete Golding is their head coach. He was on the staff when Lane Kiffin left for LSU. Ole Miss moved him up to the head coach position, and he is now the head coach for the rest of this season and forward games. With that, we got the Miami Ole Miss. Look, Carson Beck has looked amazing. He looked like a quarterback. It looked like he was aware of what was going on, right? You could see him against Ohio State. The clock was going off because even when defenders weren't right there at him, as soon as that 3 to 4 seconds hit, he was moving. He's trying to find his way out of the pocket. He's trying to find where to get rid of the ball, right? He looked very, very much aware, okay? If you get the same Carson Beck, that's going to cause problems for Ole Miss.
I just need him to manage the game.
Absolutely.
That's what he did last game. He didn't even throw for 200 yards, but he managed the game. That Miami defense did everything that you need.
Carson Beck got PTSD from the SEC. He got that PTSD from the SEC. You saw what he did against Texas A&M. Did you watch the game? Did you watch the game against Texas A&M? He didn't help them win. They kicked field goals the whole game.
A win is a win.
Well, but Ole Miss's offense and Chambliss being the quarterback, I think people have underrated Chambliss as a quarterback.
Yep.
I think he's better than what a lot of people think he is. And I think he's now showing that. I think the Georgia win is like, oh, wow, this guy can play. Well, yeah, he can play. That's why their record was what it was. I think Lane Kiffin got a lot of that credit, which is great, right? Don't get me wrong. Because he is as a player, you are a foundation of what you are given, right? Ole Miss defense, they've given up a lot of points this season, right? So there's a lot of times where Ole Miss has had to score 40 to 50 points against the team just to beat them. And I don't think Ole Miss can score 40 to 50 points against Miami. I don't see that. I think Carson Beck sends a message, and I'm taking Miami.
Oh, so see, a good betting man will guarantee that he could stay in the up at the top, right, without having to even think, right? But I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna let y'all say y'all piece and all that and everything, right? I heard Chambliss gonna be running around and throwing dots and darts and laser beams and here's the problem. Here's the problem. Miami has a lot of athletes. Those DNs, all they gotta do is keep him in that pocket. He's too little. They keep him in that pocket, you're gonna have a problem. Here's the thing. Here's a rule that maybe y'all know, maybe you don't. There is no defensive holding in college football. It's either going to be pass interference and the ball has to be in the air, or it was a good defensive play.
Yep.
With that being said,
Keep throwing up to you.
Throwing up to you.
I think I have just won the championship right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, woo! I heard
Well,
that.
now, Chris, we'll see. Because we got one more game.
It's so funny.
The winners.
It's so funny. Chris was saying that you got. Oh, we're just gonna keep him in the pocket. We're just gonna not let him run around. Man, you have a better chance of putting a gorilla in the headlock. What are you talking about?
I have put a gorilla in the headlock. Remember, Jay? I put you in the headlock.
Hey, all I'm saying is it's going to look cute the first couple times he runs around, but when they get one of them linebackers spying him and they catch him slipping, guess what?
He's not gonna
put him off in the stretcher. He's going to be concussed. The Miami boys are hitting.
It's not going to keep up with him.
But I'll tell you, besides all the conversation, right, this is why the game is played, right? Because if we put it on paper, right, we could make any guesses, right? But now we get to see it being played, and we get to see how well Chambliss does do against Miami, whether he does well or bad, right? And I think that's going to affect these next 4 games. You're talking about, we was talking about earlier about quarterbacks being drafted, right? I think these 4 games, because Dante Moore and Fernando Mendoza, right, are some of the top 2 quarterbacks in all of college football. They already said that, right? But I think if Carson Beck does really good, his draft stock could go up. Or if Chambliss does good, his draft stock could go up. Do you agree?
He's already said he's going back.
He said he's coming back.
Who, Chambliss?
Yeah. So here's a good question for you. For all 3 of you, for you 3. Who's the backup quarterback in Ole Miss?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
Do you know?
No, he was the starter and got hurt, wasn't he?
Oh, it's not him either. He transferred. He's in the portal, so he's probably not. He's not able to play.
Then I don't know who it is.
You got Austin Simmons. He's a redshirt sophomore.
He is in the portal. He's transferring, sir.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. Trust me.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, I'm throwing it out there only because, like Jeff said, he gonna run around. He gonna run around until he runs to one of them linebackers running from them DNs, and he gonna be concussed and be out for the game. And you better have somebody ready to go. And then you just change the dynamic of the team because ain't nobody. You probably don't have another. You don't have another Chambliss part 2. Sitting there that doing what he was doing.
Yeah, Austin entered the portal. You're right. Did Trinidad Chambliss leave already?
No, he's still there because he hasn't announced if he's transferred. No, he announced he's staying in Ole Miss.
Yeah, he's number 2. I thought he was the starter at the beginning of the year, and then
no, it was the Austin guy was the starter, and he's not a bad quarterback,
right?
But I think he's gonna end up in LSU. There's a lot of big names in the portal right now, especially at quarterback. And I think a lot of them are waiting to see what the top 3 quarterbacks are going to do. Well, we already know Carson Beck is gone.
Yeah, I think Mendoza's leaving.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think Moore is too.
Mendoza's leaving, but Moore has another year eligibility.
Yeah, he does. But we know this as well, right? If an NFL scout comes up to you and says, "Hey, we're going to take you 5th pick in the NFL draft," I'm gone. Jeff over here.
I'm out.
Bro, I ain't waiting. You said I'm going to get a big payday.
Yes, sir.
So you ain't gonna be a Matt. You ain't gonna be a Matt Leinart. Go back because that killed his draft stock.
No, but Leinart came from money, so that's why he made that decision. when you come from money, you got that luxury. If you don't come from money, hey, I need to capitalize on my.
The one thing I will say Matt Leinart did for college football, that was a plus. He started teaching those guys take out insurance in case they got hurt.
Yep.
So they had money to fall back on. He was the first player to do it.
Prime example was Marcus Lattimore from South Carolina.
Oh yeah,
because he came back and had insurance on his stuff, and glad he did because he came back and got hurt. Now, granted, he still got drafted by the 49ers, and then he rehabbed, but he never really did anything.
He wasn't the same.
And he could have came out that season as one of the top running backs, if not the top running back, right? And got drafted to a good team.
They was listing him as being the top player, but he was coming back to try to win in South Carolina.
Yep, because they had the South Carolina that team was solid, but and that's the risk, right? And that's why I said if Dante Moore, if an NFL scout comes up to him and says, "Hey, we're gonna take you 5th pick," he gone. I don't care about another eligibility.
Was it Willis McGahee who tore up his knee first, or was it after?
Yeah. It was Willis McGahee.
That was after Willis McGahee.
Yeah. It was afterwards.
Okay.
But McGahee turned around and had a great career.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Frank Gore.
Yep.
Yeah, and Frank Gore tore his knees multiple times.
Yeah.
So
you can't for I don't know how many years. Crazy.
So I guess y'all figured out my Jedi mind trick. I tricked y'all last week with y'all. Everybody picked Texas A&M. It didn't work this week.
Texas Tech.
I mean Texas Tech.
It don't matter.
I got you.
They didn't make it.
Well, all the Texas teams lost anyway, so it doesn't matter.
No. Well, the ones that was in the playoffs, yes. Texas did beat Michigan. So I will give them that. Texas did beat. Yeah, Texas beat.
Texas beat Michigan.
Hey guys, so looking at the brackets though, right? Should the college playoff committee, right? And this is just a random question. Should the college committee look at how they lining up teams that way so an Oregon and Indiana doesn't play again?
Nope.
Nope.
Do it the way they do it.
Okay.
Because
just move it closer.
You shrink that.
They want to compress it. I think it's fine where it's at. I don't think that the game should be because I think the game don't happen until like almost February.
What?
It's like the championship game don't happen till when?
So the semifinals is the 8th
and the 9th.
Yep. I'll tell you in a minute. The championship game is the 19th of January.
Martin Luther King birthday. Well, that's the day. That's the day 19th. Yeah. So is it going a little too long? Probably. Right?
Yep.
But you gotta also remember is if I'm not mistaken, right? If I'm not mistaken, the reason why it's not the week after conference play is because Army-Navy game is the only game that's played that weekend. Normally in the FCS.
But it doesn't happen.
FBS. Right? And then you have players going on Christmas holiday if they're not playing during that first couple of weeks in the bowl. So I don't think they want to adjust so much. And then but you get your more views this time at this time frame. And then if you plan on the 19th, that's actually a good time to play during that time because there's no other importance. Because I think the 19th is the last weekend of the NFL playoffs.
Yeah, but the 19th it's on Monday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's the last. I think that's the last weekend in the NFL playoffs. So you gotta some, you're trying to make money on viewership and all that. They're not going to move the dates. They can whine. The coaches can whine and complain. That's on you about your intensity and how you get these guys ready to play. If you sleep in the first half, ask the Rams. You sleep in the first half.
That's what I
said. Look, you sleep in the first half, and then you got to kick it in. It's hard to come back and win that game.
Yeah.
Jay said that momentum. Once that other team gets that momentum, got that belief that they can win.
That's why I always put. Look, that's why I always push Jay down. Look, that's why I always push Jay down when we were playing softball, because he wasn't finna beat me. He was younger. I was pushing down. Yeah, get out of my way, little boo.
So, what is the solution to having these teams? Because is the criteria not the correct right now, where you have conference leaders or the conference champion getting automatic bids, or you have an independent saying that they deserve to be in? What is the perfect way to say these 12 teams are the perfect ones to be in?
There is no perfect answer. There's always going to be a flaw.
Yes.
The only way you're going to have a perfect answer is you got to go to the FCS style of playoffs. And guess what? Because you went to the FCS style of playoffs, now the bowl games are going to go away. That is big money for colleges.
Yeah, they're not going to do that. No, all I'm saying is this. Regardless of how they do the 12 teams, right? And I may not agree that Tulane and JMU deserve to be in that, but if they choose them, that's fine, right? If that's the requirement, hey, we're going to get 5 conference champions, what have you. But if you didn't do that, if you didn't make a requirement on conference champions and people just holistically at your schedule, wouldn't that encourage teams to play other teams, big teams, and put them on their schedule to show, hey,
it would encourage teams to go independent.
Well, so not every team can do that, because not every team has that pull, right? That's the reason why Oklahoma and Texas, even with as much money as they make, they went to the SEC because of how much TV money the SEC brings in. So not every team can do that. But would it encourage teams to say, hey, you know what? We want to be considered for the top 12, so we're gonna have to put some teams on our schedule.
Well, I'm gonna tell you the main reason why Texas and Oklahoma was brought into the SEC. It's not all about the money, because both schools got a lot of money. That opened up the market, the recruiting market in Texas. That's what that was.
Yep.
Opened up the recruiting market in Texas.
Texas was losing a lot of recruits to Texas A&M just because of conference.
Because they played in the SEC. Just like with USC and UCLA going into the Big Ten. That opened up California and Oregon. That opened up the state of California for the Big Ten market.
Yeah.
Right? So, there's money involved.
It's money.
There's money involved, but the money is the players. Without the players, you don't get the money.
I agree, but that's the reason why you got the ACC and you have Stanford and Cal and SMU in the Atlantic Coast Conference, but you got to fly across country. Like, it doesn't make
any sense. Here's a good question: the state of Pennsylvania, right? Mm-hmm. Name me one FBS school other than Penn State in Pittsburgh. You can't. You can't. You can't. Penn is the Ivy League school.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's the difference.
Can't. Yep.
You can't.
Yep.
And you got Penn State in the Big Ten, Pittsburgh in the ACC. Right? Why everybody want Notre Dame? I'm gonna tell you why. Notre Dame opens that Midwest market to whatever conference they go into, because they sit right in the heart. They're about
Doesn't
2
benefit.
hours. Yeah, 2
It
hours
doesn't
from
benefit Notre
Chicago.
Dame though.
It don't. There it is. It don't benefit Notre Dame
Yep.
because NBC is paying them a truckload of money.
Absolutely.
Now, if NBC wasn't,
Oh, they would have
now
gone.
they would have been
gone.
gone. Yeah.
They would have been gone. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I can't
So
name one.
does that mean that these conferences need to go to NBC?
No. See, not all these teams can pull in like that. But you look at like Texas. Texas got its own network.
Yeah.
You know how much money they bring in from that network? They got their own network. So
Now here's the funny part. Name one school other than Hawaii and California that pull in more Hawaiian players into their team. Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Notre Dame.
That was BYU.
USC as well.
USC, yeah, USC,
Yeah,
but
USC
they
definitely
still don't pull. They don't pull more than Notre Dame. Most of their Hawaiian natives are coming from the Southern California area. So that's the point. They have a big. Notre Dame has a huge following. Very huge. So hey, it's about that time. It's about that time, fellas. We got to go ahead and get on over to that ooh-wee time. So, y'all know what time that is? Y'all know what time that is?
What time is that?
It is the NFL.
The big boys.
All right. So here's our records for the week. Jay, man, you beat everybody. You had a 5-4 record. Me and Jeff, 4-5, not bad. Chris at 3-6. But it's important to note, right? Because Chris and I are no longer tied. I took the lead. Chris, you're now a game behind. So let's see. I know it's just one. It's just one. There's a lot of games on NFL left, unlike college, right?
Yeah.
Jay, you going 5-4, and you playing above 500 will keep you above 500 overall too. And Jeff, you sitting in there with a solid 34-21.
Hey,
right?
Look, in Jeff's honor, because I need to say this because he is sitting it out. Jeff does have the best winning percentage of all of us, but it's getting worse.
It is.
It's getting worse. It's starting to even out.
He ain't lying, folks. He ain't lying.
Hey, and we have no recap on the NFL this week. None. Because ain't no games played. But there's some important games coming up.
Yes, indeed.
All right. So we're going to take a look at this. Oh, what happened?
Oh, yeah.
This is our current playoff picture. Current. Denver sits at the top. New England, Jacksonville, Pittsburgh, Houston, the Chargers, and the Bills on the AFC. On the NFC, we had the Seahawks, the Bears, the Eagles, the Panthers, the 49ers, the Rams, and then the Packers. We're going to move on to our first game. All right. So bear with me, gentlemen. I'm going to announce the game, and I'm going to tell you what's at stake. All right. So we have the Panthers at the Bucks. Whoever wins is in, and they're the 4th seed. What's your thoughts?
Hey, this is like college football. Neither one of them deserve to be in.
Neither of them want to be in. They really don't.
Hey, this is my conference, guys.
Hey, and
And neither one of them
There was
deserve to be
the
in.
question about
you guys play a role in this.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
It's a very small role.
It's funny. Yes. And it's funny, the college, just because JMU won the division, should Carolina squeak in, or should Tampa Bay be 7-9 or 8-9 and make the playoffs? Are they better than a team that's 10-6 that didn't make it?
Look,
there you go.
Right. Look,
There you go.
I'll tell you who I have, right? And then y'all can speak on. Because the Bucks have been struggling as of late, right? Especially at the end of the season. And at the end of the season is where you gotta come in strong, right? Regardless of the record. I've got to go with the Panthers.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back.
I'm going with Carolina as well. I got you. I got Carolina.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bucks just because I'm in Tampa. I guess someone has to win the game because neither of them seem like it. I got the Bucks to win the game, but I got Carolina to make the playoffs. So,
well, that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, it does.
No, if Tampa wins, they're in.
No, Tampa wins.
Yes.
But if Atlanta beats the Saints, they're all tied with the same record. And guess who gets in? Carolina, because they got the better record in the division. Yeah. That's why I said Atlanta plays a part in this.
No. If Carolina, if Tampa wins, right. Tampa's in.
No. What he's saying, he's right.
Tampa has a 28% chance of making it because even if they beat Carolina, they need Saints to beat Atlanta. Because if there's a three-way tie at 8-9 at the top of the division, Carolina has the better conference record. They'll qualify. That's why I said the Falcons play a part in this.
So at the beginning of the year, right? I said this, but nobody believed me until today. Nobody believed me till today. I said Carolina had something to say, and they saying it. I'm going to take the points over 43 and a half.
I like the over on that game too.
So, hey, I want y'all to make sure y'all we will be right back. We got something coming in for you guys. We're gonna take a small commercial break. All
hey,
right?
Chris, real quick, who's your pick?
Carolina.
Okay.
Go to break.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the long distance playbook. Jay, who we got today?
Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We have our first guest of the year. He's out of Weber State University, played 5 seasons of the NFL, and was on the celebrated Super Bowl teams of the San Francisco 49ers that won the Super Bowl in 88 and 89, had the opportunity to win 3 straight Super Bowls. There's not many people that can say that. We have cornerback Daryl Pollard. How you doing today, Daryl?
Hey, absolutely. I'm doing okay, man. How are you guys
Hey,
doing?
sir.
All right,
Real
so
quick. Go
go
ahead, Jay.
ahead, Mason. Go ahead, Mason. You got it.
Well, so, sir, I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
My name is Mason,
What's happening, Mason?
and not much. So, my curiosity is, how old were you when you got involved in football, and who got you involved in football?
Probably whatever you are at fifth grade. I was in the fifth grade. My dad got me involved. Um, and it was a great time. We lost every game, but I scored every touchdown.
I like that answer.
That's right.
I like that answer. I never got to see
He
what
said,
touchdown.
"We lost, but I got mine. I got mine."
That's basically what it was. They
There
had me
you
playing
go.
tight end, and I scored every touchdown. So,
There you go.
Oh, tight
yeah,
end. Okay.
yeah, yep.
So
Okay.
I have a
Wow.
question that kind of builds from that one. For children going into football, do you have strong advice for them one way or another? With everything that we know that's going on nowadays, with CTE, concussions, and things of that nature, do you have strong advice for either kids or parents in getting into football? What are your thoughts on
Okay, so I see we got the serious guy here. Um, you jumped right into it. So let's think about that for a minute. So I think it has everything to do with the person's age too, right?
that?
I started in fifth grade. Now these kids are playing flag football for a long time before they get into the contact aspect of it.
Right.
Um, I think the consideration really is about the coach and how the coach is teaching these kids how to play the game. There's no longer those follies, those highlights, those big hits that they used to have, the videos that we used to watch as a kid. I remember in elementary school, our gym teacher bringing everybody in the gym and pulling down the screen and showing the big hits, and everybody's like oohing and on, and everybody getting knocked out. Those follies are gone. Those big hits are gone. As far as from making a spectacle of it, right? So as far as the kids getting out there playing, I think there is a certain age to when kids are, should start getting their brains rattled a little bit from getting popped around, moved around a little bit. But I also think that it depends on the coach. As you guys know, I played with Ronnie Lott. I idolized Ronnie Lott growing up. When I started to start paying attention to watching football on TV when he was at USC. And so, you know, you learn from who you idolize, and so he's a guy who's very healthy at his age today. Mine is very solid, but if you go back and you look at all his highlights, he didn't stick his head into plays. Everything he hit everybody with his chest. God, rest his soul, Kenny Easley. I got a chance to be with him first of all when I was at Seattle before I came to the Niners, and again, another guy. He was very violent in how he played, but he didn't hit you with his head. He hit you with his chest. He hit you with his forearms. He used to stand lineman straight up with just a forearm slap. So I think it has everything to do with the technique and how you teach kids how to play the game, more so than anything. Yes, there's going to be accidents, but you know what? We all ran into a couple cars, playing flag football in the middle of the street, or even riding a bicycle. So that's gonna happen. And unfortunately, there's I was watching Rice play Texas. I think it was Texas State yesterday, and the kid got hurt. It was a freak accident. Those things could happen. They could happen anytime. You could get hit by a car. But I think that you just have to be careful and understanding what type of coach is teaching your kid.
Yep. And I just asked because my children are older, but a lot of people either on here or that listen in have younger children. And I'm sure at some point they're having that conversation with their significant other. I know I had it with my wife. So just wanted your perspective. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I no, it's all good. I mean, again, I really do think it's about the coach. I've been around quite a few coaches. Some of them just everybody thinks the world of them, and they're horrific in how they teach their technique.
Mhm.
And there's other guys that that really understand the game and know about it, and it's more of a thinking man's game more than it is about how violent you can be. Of course, the trenches are something different, but out in the field, the specialty positions don't have to be with leading with the head.
Got it.
Yeah. So to piggyback off of that, and you talk about technique and being where you're supposed to be and that sort of thing. What are some of the coaches, or who are some of the coaches that really jump at you that you had the luxury of being coached by?
So I think I was very blessed from the standpoint of I had coaches that were about assignments and understanding what you were supposed to do throughout my maturation of sports. From golly, you guys wouldn't even know who some of these guys are. Tom Sandoval, he was my C squad ninth grade coach. We knew the calls. We knew what everybody was supposed to do. Everybody understood the play. It was simplified enough for you to go out and still be athletic. I think that's really important, and it helped me out a lot. I mean, the jump from having Mike Zimmer at Weber State, and a lot of people don't know Mike Zimmer was with Mike Price at Weber State. He was our defensive coordinator at Weber State. Having someone who had the knowledge coming from the University of Missouri, who had coach guys that I played with later, like Eric Wright, you get a chance to understand the game and why coaches do stuff. You're just not out there. The kids I talk to today and I work with that are in college, a lot of times they're like, "Well, coach told me to do this, coach told me that." Well, why did he tell you that? Well, I don't know. I just got to do it. They don't even really understand how to study film, and having the Tom Sandoval's, the Jim Hartman, rest his soul, the Mike Prices and Mike Zimmers and the Gil Hammers of the world. Those guys are the guys that even today we just had a big DB reunion, and we went back to Dallas and had a good time with Ray Rhodes. When you have coaches and you have players that actually understand the game and understand the people around you, then you become significant. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but it does. It has a lot to do. So when I watch the game, I can tell what kids are being, or young men are being coached. We might as well call them men now because they're getting paid like grown men. It's a different ball game. So yeah, I think those are the type of coaches that teach you the game, not just tell you what to do, but actually you understand when you're playing certain coverages what you're trying to stop. You're not trying to stop everything. You got players around you that are supposed to do their jobs as well.
All right.
Okay. So I'm going to ask this last. We're up against it, but you had a great career with the 49ers. Is there one particular game or season you wish you could have back? You won 2 Super Bowls, but there was a little bit more meat on the bone. What's one you wish you could have had back?
Well, obviously, you started out with it. It's the Giants game, and we should have won three in a row. Um, it would have been great to go and play Buffalo. I think that we were playing in Tampa. That's when Whitney Houston was singing at the national anthem and the whole bit. That would have been awesome to have that experience. Obviously, didn't happen. I was blessed to have two. I'm not going to be too greedy about it, but we'd love to have that game over. Another game I'd love to play again is Michael Irving because I see, in his new, movie that he has out on Netflix. He won't even say my name. You know what? He had beat me on that play. I recovered. I knocked the ball away. I land on his knee. He's to this day, he's still crying about it. Okay, it is what it is. That's football, right? So I'd love to play. I'd love to play them again against Emmitt Smith and all those guys. Those were great rivalries. Um, those type of games is what I love to play in.
Okay, Super Bowl, Cincinnati. How did it feel for the John Taylor catch to be on the sideline and see that happen?
So, um, brother, I was like this. All right. there was a lot of things that happened. Obviously I was a special teams player in that game. I wasn't starting yet. I started the following year. As you guys know, we gave up the kickoff return at the early in the game that caused that situation to be where it was. But then I made it up on special teams. My good friend John Taylor actually fumbled a punt return, and I moved Barney Bussey to the side and jumped on the ball. So I got about 5 or 6 significant letters that came in the mail to me saying thank you. If you hadn't done that, we wouldn't even been in that position. Um, those are the things that stuck out to me in that game more than anything. Besides Ronnie Lott hitting Icky Woods and stopping the shuffle. Because Ronnie hit him so hard, he stopped shuffling in that game.
We might have to bring that up to Icky next time.
That's right. We'll have to bring it up to Icky next time.
Yeah, that
Okay,
tap
so
dance, it was amazing.
Yes. All right, Chris, you want to go ahead and get it rolling because we're up against the time here. So
Yeah. So, sir, do you have any type of charities or anything that you want people to take notice of to help the program or whatever going on?
You know what? I don't. To be honest with you, I don't. Charities were big name guys that did that. We did now. Now it seems like there's just thousands of charities that are out there. People have different reasons why they're in it. I've never really gotten involved no more than supporting and helping the guys that do. Um, there's a couple that I sit close to that I make sure that I partake in every year. One is Vita Blues with education for kids here in the Bay Area. But as you guys know, he's passed on, but we still support his charity. And the other one is there's a charity, and I'm trying to think of the name of it right now because I know it from the golf tournament. It's about sex trafficking. I don't know if you guys know, but Sacramento's #1 um, for sex trafficking, and Oakland's #2, and then it goes on from there. Uh, those are some things that we definitely need to focus in on and try to I would like to say eradicate, get rid of it completely. But it's going to be something that's going to be real difficult to do. So those are two of the things that I do support myself.
Thank you, sir. And we want to thank you for coming on our show and bringing us some good laughter and good stories. I know we short on time with you, sir. Have a blessed New Year. Stay healthy, and if you don't mind, would you mind coming back when you got a little bit more time?
Yeah, sure. I said, what you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's so small on my screen, and at 60, and I got my bifocals on, trying to see y'all. I can't see no faces. I have no idea. I just hearing voices. So yeah, I'd like to come back, get a bigger screen, and be able to talk to y'all, and we could really dig into it.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right. You guys have a good one, and happy New Year to you guys as well.
Thank you, sir.
All right, many blessings.
Appreciate it.
Happy New Year to you.
All right. Ciao.
Man, I want to thank him for that was so fun.
All right.
Yeah. All right. We want to pick up where we left off, Chris?
Yeah, we can go from there.
Sure.
I already said Carolina.
No. I got you. So, but our next game is Seahawks at the 49ers.
Jay.
I want to hear what this 49er fan got to say.
Jay.
All right. So we've been rolling for about a good month now.
Okay.
And that always scares me. I remember Gino came rolling in and we got bodied by Seattle. I see the same thing. Our defense is not the same as it used to be. Robert Saleh was supposed to come here to fix the defensive problems, but with Bosa, Warner, and then we lost Ward, and we lost our other corner. I think our defense is going to hurt us against Seattle, and I think Seattle is focused. And damn, that Darnold, he played with us last year or the year before that. I think he's going to be able to help the Seahawks with some of the calls of Shanahan. I think the Seattle defense has already been top notch. I got Seahawks winning this game.
Oh, wow.
The 49ers fan said Seahawks.
Y'all
I know,
see
right?
me leaning. Y'all see me leaning.
Hey.
Hey, he tried to gain on some points on the NFL or something.
Guess what, Jay? I agree with you. I think with all the injuries that the 49ers have on defense, Sam Darnold's going to have time in the pocket. And that Smith and Jigga, that boy can play. And I think that's going to be a problem for you. So for me, and I think Seattle's front four gets pressure. I don't think McCaffrey's going to be able to run like I think he's going to get a lot of catches out of the backfield, but he ain't going to be able to run like he normally does. I got Seahawks winning.
I'm taking Seattle.
Sam Darnold is due. I don't know. He threw 4 picks. He gonna lose this time. San Francisco is that offense is playing out of this world, and the Rams have showed that you can score on Seattle's defense.
Yeah.
So, I guess it's gonna be a clean sweep. I'm still going with Seattle.
Just remember, the Bears put up 38 points
On the 49ers.
In a loss.
Next game. Next game. The Titans at the Jags.
Jags, clean sweep.
Okay. Clean sweep Jags.
We knew that.
Anybody going to argue with that?
I'll
got
argue.
the Jags.
No,
Hey,
I'm lying.
let me take somebody's
I'm lying.
Nope.
I was going to say, hey, if anybody's going to argue that, then go ahead and pack your lunch for your L.
Hey,
The
look,
Colts
if
the Texans.
Houston plus
So
10.
Chris is.
Yep.
You said Texas, Jeff?
Houston.
So once again, another clean sweep. Because I'm taking Texans.
Phillip Rivers experience is over once again.
All right. So the Chargers at the Broncos.
Broncos.
Okay.
Go ahead and say Chargers, Jay. I dare you. Go ahead and call you a bottom feeder.
No, Denver.
Now, what does that bottom feeder got to do with anything, Chris?
Because he in last place.
Oh, okay. I was going to say. So, yeah, I'm taking Denver.
Yeah, I think the Chargers sitting everyone anyway. So
Yeah.
They sitting everybody.
yeah, Denver's not because they want to play for a number 1 seed. So I got Denver.
All right. So Dolphins at the Patriots.
Pats.
Okay. Jeff's got Pats. I'm taking the Patriots. Oh, you're taking the Dolphins.
No, I'm joking. Pats.
I was like, man,
Pats.
Let him take them. Jay?
I got the Patriots.
Okay.
Patriots. I got the Patriots.
Yeah, I got you. So our final game, and this is the last win, and you're in, right? Ravens at the Steelers.
I hate this.
Lamar's playing.
Yeah, I hate this game.
Who you taking?
I'm taking the Ravens. But
I got
hate this
Pittsburgh
game.
+3.
I hate this game for a couple of reasons, though.
You said what, Jay?
He said Pittsburgh +3.
Oh, so you going with the Steelers then?
I'm gonna tell you, I don't like this game. I hate what I've heard from the media talking about Lamar Jackson and quitting on his team just because he's hurt. Like, I don't understand how he gets this level of criticism, but I don't hear it about Josh Allen. I don't hear it about Joe Burrow. I don't hear it about Justin Herbert. That's driving me insane. Like, they apologize for Josh Allen on every single thing known to man. Oh, he doesn't have enough talent. Wait a second. Who leads the league in rushing?
Mhm.
James Cook. Okay. I'm just saying. I get tired of hearing this. And then on the flip side, if Baltimore loses, Lamar gets criticized. If Pittsburgh loses, then they're going after Tomlin again, who has never had a losing season. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yep. I'm going with the Ravens just because I think season's on the line, and they use Derrick Henry a lot.
Hey, who is Aaron Rodgers throwing to?
Nobody. You, me, and Jay.
No. So
I'm not sure.
And Mason's at tight end.
So and look, that's bad because Mason might be the only one of us in real shape.
somehow,
Wait, I'm ashamed.
No, I'm just
ashamed.
saying in general.
Hey, no, I'm ashamed.
But
Hey, Round's a shape.
Round is a shape, dog.
Round is you right. Round is a shape. Yes,
All right.
you are. I got to.
Chris, who you taking?
I'm taking Derrick Henry.
look.
The Ravens, he said.
I'm taking that Alabama boy.
Chris, why would you say this? Chris, but why? Chris, you are a football guru. And that dome of a head of yours is enough football knowledge for the ages. And when Lamar comes back, Derrick Henry carries go down. And guess
We'll
what?
see.
They have a thing for some reason. They want to put Lamar, give him his attempts. And then Derrick Henry gets three carries in the fourth quarter.
Hey,
Baltimore's going to lose this game.
I'm going to say this. If that happens today, tomorrow night, right? Harbaugh will be fired.
Yep.
Harbaugh will be fired. They just proved it last week. You give Derrick Henry the ball. If they
You got a Hall of Fame running back there, and they haven't given him the ball like they should
all season
long.
Yeah.
I would want all my leagues that I got Derrick Henry.
It's because of Jackson. I'm telling you.
Why is it because of Jackson?
No, it's not. It's not. Go ahead, Chris.
I'm glad that you chose him. I'm glad. But you're a bottom feeder. That's why you're at the bottom. That's why you're at the bottom of the list, bro.
So that's the reason why. The reason why I say because of Jackson. Because they're calling more pass plays and more play action plays when Jackson's in the game. But when Huntley's in the game, we're just going to take Huntley, turn around, give it to Henry. Turn around, give it to Henry. And that's what we're getting when Jackson's not playing. Jackson's playing, carries go down.
But
we'll have to see tomorrow night, won't we?
That's just bad coaching.
Right. We'll have to see tomorrow night.
Yep.
Go ahead, Chris.
It is bad coaching.
I want to thank everybody for tuning into the Long Distance Playbook. Enjoy your week. Happy New Year. Be blessed. And we'll see you next Saturday right here on the Long Distance Playbook.